Veterans. What's the craziest way a citizen thought they were better than you? Full dress uniform, chest full of medals. And this man decided I needed an education. I had just come from a ceremony. Hadn't even changed yet. Still in uniform. Walking into the commissary to grab a few things before the weekend. Nothing on my mind except what I was cooking and when I was sleeping. I grab a cart and get in line. Normal day. Normal errand. Then the guy behind me clears his throat. I should have known. That specific throat clear. The one that says, I have opinions and a captive audience. He was maybe mid-40s, cargo shorts, a polo that wasn't doing him any favors, and the energy of someone who watches a lot of political commentary at 2 a.m. He glanced at my uniform, nodded slowly, and said, "So you're in the military, huh?" Not a question. A statement, like he was processing it. I said, "Yeah, just got back from a ceremony." "Cool, cool." He paused. "Then, I almost joined, had a full scholarship though. So, better options." I nodded, turned back around. Conversation over, right? Wrong. Basic training isn't even that bad from what I've heard. Mostly just mental games. Nothing you can't push through if you're in decent shape. I stood there for a second, looked down at the medals on my chest, looked back up. I said nothing, just nodded again. Because this man clearly needed to finish. He did not finish. He started breaking down how basic training works. The schedule, the sleep deprivation, the drill, to me, in full dress uniform, with ribbons I earned in places he couldn't point to on a map. He was explaining my own life to me like I'd read about it in a pamphlet and was curious for more. The woman in front of me glanced back. I could see it on her face. The exact same expression I was feeling on mine. Then he shifted gears entirely. Honestly though, the benefits thing has gotten out of hand. Veterans get way too much. Healthcare, housing, education. At some point it's just not fair to regular people. The line went quiet. The woman in front of me turned around fully this time. She looked at him and said, calmly but clearly, "You should probably stop talking." He blinked at her like she'd just materialized out of thin air. "I'm just being honest," he said. "People don't want to have that conversation." She said, "I really don't think that's the conversation you want to have right now." He turned to her with this look, this very specific look of a man who has never once considered he might be wrong, and said, "No offense, but you don't really understand economics." She stared at him. The guy behind him stared at him. The woman 2 carts back was already shaking her head. I still hadn't said a word. Didn't need to. The manager appeared at the end of the aisle. I don't even know who called him over. Could have been anyone. At least 3 people were already visibly done with this man's entire presence. The manager walked up, read the room in about 4 seconds, and asked the guy if he could come with him.